At the end of the day, if you don't know yourself, you're not going to know what you like to do, what you don't like to do, what your passion is going to be. And there's nothing worse than waking up 10 years down the line and you realising that I've done 10 years of my life in a job that I really don't want to do.
Through this Masters, one part of our module was reflections, and I find in myself that I find it really hard to believe in my ability, but in these reflections it made me understand why I wanted to do what I do and how I've come about that. So from that, I've then looked back on my past and realised that I'm actually very good at what I do, and that teaching is something that I want to do for a very long time.
It's massive for you to have an idea of the things you like, the things you don't like. It's amazing how many people are unaware of what their strengths and weaknesses are as a person, or strengths and areas to improve are as a person. I think that's the beauty of football and of sport in general, is that there's so many different avenues you can go down.
If you follow your passion or your hobby, then it doesn't feel like working.
While playing at the Centre of Excellence, I really wanted to become a physio, so I applied at the University of Bedfordshire to do sports therapy at the Luton campus. I then took a year out. In that year out, I coached at many different primary and secondary schools, which then changed my interest to becoming a PE teacher.
Just because it's sport and PE, you don't have to go to the PE, you don't have to go to sport, there's so many other things. There's sort of like nutrition, physio, just different things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of. And you can go in. I know quite a few people who actually didn't get on PTE, and they've gone away. They're sort of working in school. Some aren't working in sports, or they've gone and got jobs, and now they're working in sort of other sectors and areas. But just because they've got their degree, it's made them more employable.
Spent a good solid year volunteering in terms of just getting down and picking up cones, but while you're doing it, you're there and you're watching and you're listening and you're taking in information and you're observant of what's going on. So just to begin with, I did a solid year of volunteer work, and then after that you start to get a bit more recognised and rewarded in terms of finance. Not that that's everything, but you start to get rewarded for your commitment to the volunteer work that you do.
So through my experiences, what I would recommend is that you speak to your tutor and you make sure that if you have any queries, you go to them, because that's something that I didn't do.
I think experience is key, not just experience that you get within university, and that extracurricular is massive. To get onto it, I needed, sort of went on 2 or 3 placements, sort of 4 or 5 coaching days.
Feedback from others is key. Always seek feedback from other people. I know I would be on my lecturer's case all the time in terms of, you know, what did you think of this, what did you think of this, and be open to feedback. Volunteering your services is extremely important, and although people maybe won't see the benefit because they feel like they're giving up their time for free, ultimately it's for their own development in the long run, and no one has ever gotten anywhere to be successful without volunteering. So I think it's crucial for one's development, absolutely.
One of the biggest things I found is just putting yourself out there. I mean, make as many opportunities possible as you can. Like, there are always things coming up, and it's just whether you recognise them and whether you use them.
So it wasn't necessarily that you know, I was fixated on America. I wanted to just keep my options open, which I think is key for everyone. Try not to limit yourself, especially if you're privileged enough to have some options.
As much experience as you can, really. Experience is invaluable. You can could be what sets you out between another applicant for a future job that you want.
Things that have helped me get to where I am at this point is to never be afraid of going outside of your comfort zone. There's been so many times when I've been a nervous wreck going into something, but ultimately when you come out of those things at the end and challenge yourself as an individual, it's only for your development, and that's helped me loads through doing that rather than playing safety all the time. And the other thing is is try and be open to see the benefits of everything. So even though there might be 1 or 2 units that you think maybe don't apply, then you just have to try and be imaginative and creative yourself to make things apply.
In my opinion, I believe volunteering will really help third years gain access, contacts into the workplace where they want to go. It will also give you first-hand experience of the job that you actually want to do. So from then, you'll be able to decide if that's something that you want to do.
Open-minded, I think is key. Having that ability to see positives in everything. So even if it isn't your ideal job first time round, we're all still very young when you leave your degree, and ultimately 10 years from now, your feelings might change from that. So I think the obvious things in terms of being persistent and never really giving up on what you want to achieve is crucial, is important. And we all get setbacks, and I've had my fair share of setbacks, but I feel that if you react to them accordingly and in a good, positive manner, then ultimately you will get to where you want to go. And it's just having that persistence to continue pursuing your dream, whatever that may be.